for the prestigious Distinguished Alumni Award Ceremony. I'm Sharon from the Office of Alumni and Corporate Relations, and I'm glad to be the MC for this event. So I request all of you to please rise for the Kamal Talwalta, followed by our national song, Vande Mataram.
திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் மதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரிதனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே 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 வந்தே மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் சுஜலாம் சுஃபலாம் மலயஜ ஷீதலாம் சஸ்யஷ்யாமலாம் மாதரம் வந்தே மாதரம் शुभ्रज्योत्स्नां पुलकितयामिनीं फुल्लकुसुमितद्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिनीं सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्.
Request Professor Ashwin Mahalingam, Dean, Alumni and Corporate Relations, to deliver the welcome address.
So, good morning everyone, and thanks for coming to this year's Distinguished Alumnus Award Ceremony. So, I think the IITs, and in particular IIT Madras IIT Madras is what it is, partly because of course, a lot of work that goes on campus in terms of teaching and research, but also because of our alumni. And we've been very, very fortunate over the years to have fantastic people go through IIT Madras who've been wonderful brand ambassadors of both the IIT brand and the IIT Madras brand. That has really helped us gain global recognition, and in some sense that's also filtered back into people taking a lot of the work that we do here seriously, and opportunities aplenty for the kind of work that is happening here at IIT Madras. So we are very grateful to our alumni and want to really acknowledge their role in bringing us to where we are. Now, we've been very fortunate over the last, so the first batch of IIT Madras passed out in 1964. So this is, exactly 60 years from when that first batch passed out. And we've got roughly about 60,000 alumni from IIT Madras across various disciplines and, undergraduate, graduate, so on. A large proportion of those alumni are, of course, in India. The second largest aggregation is in North America, United States and Canada, but we have people all across the world. And by and large, everybody has done exceptionally well in their own walks of life. We have these reunions every year, and you meet people and you find that everyone is phenomenally successful, whether they're in academia, whether they're in business, whether they've been entrepreneurs. And we've also had alumni shine in areas that have nothing to do with traditional professions, engineering, science and technology. But what the Distinguished Alumni Award and what this sort of program does is it tries to recognize and honor alumni that have gone even further. So we're already talking about a rarefied group of people who come through and do phenomenally well in life. And here we're trying to recognize people who, even at that sort of rarefied echelon, are sort of at the top. And we're very grateful that today we have three absolutely stellar alumni, spanning generations actually. Srini was from the mid 80s. GDS is, well, from the 1990 batch, so we'll count that as the 90s. And we know this from 2003. So we've got literally 3 decades worth of alumni here. And all of them, you'll hear their citations being read out, and you'll find that they've all distinguished themselves wonderfully in terms of the work that they've done and the impact that they've created. And we're very, very proud to have all of you as our alumni, and really happy to welcome all of you here. One of the things I like about this ceremony is it's not just the alumni, but we also get a chance to meet family and friends. So thank you so much for for the spouses, the children, everyone coming along. And all of you are also part of the IIT Madras family. So we hope, and some of you I know have not come, don't visit us that often. We hope that frequency will increase, and look forward to a lot of continuous interaction in the years to come. Congratulations to all of you and welcome to everyone.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Professor. Due to unforeseen circumstances, our director is unable to join us today. However, we have a video message from him. I request you to play the video message, sir.
Namaskar. Friends, at the outset, I apologize that I could not be in person. Normally, I don't miss any of the DAA functions. But due to some prayer commitments at New Delhi, I had to be away from Chennai. A very hearty welcome back to your alma mater, Professor Srinivas, Dr. GDS, and Dr. Vinod. Today is a much more happy day for me because both GDS and Vinod are my very dear friends. GDS did his BTech when I was doing my PhD here. And Vinod, I think I've taught him some courses. Extremely happy just seeing the level of achievements you guys have made. My God, hats off. Srini, I'm very happy today that you are coming from, I may say, the mother of all computer science laboratories, the seaside, which we all hold in great esteem at MIT. And you work in an area which is very close to many of us. A curious combination of crypto, computer security, and computer architecture. I'm also very fascinated to know that you have worked in RISC-V. I think you made certain security extensions to RISC-V. IIT Madras has been working very deeply in RISC-V from 2013 onwards. We had actually taken BlueSpec, a language that came out of your lab, and we have taped out more than 6 to 7 chips under the brand name Shakti. So I'm extremely happy and hearty congratulations to you. Of course, GDS, I still remember the great days we had at Computer Science Department. It was also your TA. You worked with Professor Kamala Kirtivasan, and you also had a couple of papers with Pandu, and I still remember some of the very nice discussions we had. I think you worked on parallel algorithms for interval graphs. Very nice days. And then subsequently, when you were in the IIT Madras Foundation, I think we had lot more time to interact. And also, I deeply acknowledge the contributions you have done, specifically for our wellness, our women leading IIT Madras, and many of these very great programs. The support from the IIT Madras Foundation, specifically you, I deeply acknowledge, and a very hearty congratulations to you. Vinod, what a career, man. I still remember, I think I taught 1 or 2 courses. And of course, you worked with Pandu, and of course, several great distinctions. The Crypto 2023 award, the Fox award. Every time Pandu used to be very excited. You say, hey, Vinod has got this award. So we used to have certain messages circulated. Very proud of you. They are also with Seaside, again at MIT. A very proud moment for us to see all the three illustrious distinguished alumni awardee. The DAA friends is like more now like JEA Advanced. Out of 1.5 million who aspire to become an IIT student, 20,000 of them we are selecting across 23 IITs. Similarly, of 65,000 plus alumni of IIT Madras, I think we have around 200 DAs. So this is a very extremely competitive award, and we have a very robust committee which decides on these awards. So hearty congratulations, very proud of you. Today IIT Madras is ranked number 1 for the 9th consecutive year in engineering and 6th consecutive year in the overall category. And all these are because of the great work that you all as students done here along with your respective mentors. And you have kept the IIT Madras flag flying very high. Somebody asked me, MIT is number 1. Where is IIT Madras? What is IIT Madras doing? I said, we are generating faculty member for the world number 1 institution. Very happy 2 of you are at MIT. Today is the world number 1 in the QS ranking. We have now taken up more projects to democratize education. Today we have more than 35,000 students, online students, taking out 2 coveted online programs, the BS in Data Science and AI, the BS in Electronic Systems. And we have reached to the nook and corner of our country. We have more than 8,000 students who are below poverty line, who are doing very well. And I'm sure within a few years, say another couple of years, they will all become alumni of IIT Madras and join our very powerful alumni network. This is a very important activity, and in whatever way you guys can support that, I'll be extremely grateful. Similarly, we have also started looking at our inputs, the schools, and specifically the rural schools. I keep repeating it quite often that we are the youngest population in the age group between 15 to 35 at India, and we need to do education correct for them. Otherwise, we may become the most uneducated country in a short while, and that will have its own social repercussions. Today, friends, we have started more than 750 rural interaction centers across India, predominantly at Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Karnataka, Arunachal Pradesh, and some in North Sri Lanka also. They are slightly international in that way. And we interact with the kids from the standard 5 to 12, basically augmenting their school education and also clearing their doubts in their mother tongue. We aspire to create an environment that will ensure that every kid born in our country becomes at least an undergraduate. They have enough skill sets that can keep their life going. And this is extremely important. So anything for this that you people can do, some time you can spend, I'll be again grateful if you join this major effort. We also have an IIT Madras campus at Zanzibar in Africa. So whenever you are traveling to that part of the world, just have a look, peep into our campus. It's a very attractive 230 plus acre sea facing plot that the Zanzibar government has been kind enough to give us. A wonderful place. You can go there, give a pep talk to all the African kids. We have almost 50 to 60% African kids and 40% from India. So you can meet all of them, and that will be a very nice experience for you. So please let us know whenever you're going to that part of the world so that we could have a small interaction. We can arrange an interaction with the Zanzibar campus. So friends, we are also starting a new venture called IITM Global, where we'll be setting up offices across the world, which will take our startups and expose them to the market in different parts of the globe. We have more than 330 plus startups valued at close to $5 billion. We'll also we completed one patent a day. We had 382 patents were filed last year and 402 were granted. Similar numbers are coming this year too. So we are also looking at transfer of technology. We have some brilliant ideas in many core engineering topics. So this IITM Global will be an outpost for us where we go and basically tell the world about our incubator startups, about the technologies and expertise we have to attract more and more strong collaborations. Anything that you can play in this effort, we'll be again grateful. So overall, I'm extremely happy today and hearty congratulations to all the 3 winners. And I'll soon meet you at our campus. Enjoy your stay. Have a good day. Namaskar.
Thank you for the message, Professor. So without any further ado, let us move forward with the agenda. Let us now proceed. It gives me immense pleasure to invite the first recipient of today's award, Professor Srinivas Devadas, along with Professor Shanti Pavan. Professor Shanti Pavan, may I now request you to please read out the citation for Professor Srinivas Devadas. Now.
Thank you. Professor Srinivas Devadas is the class of 1985, BTech in Electrical Engineering. He is now the Edwin Sibley Webster Professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Professor Devadas graduated with a bachelor's degree in EE from IIT Madras and later a master's degree in EE from the UC Berkeley in 1986. In 1988, he obtained the PhD from the University of California. He is known for his outstanding and widely cited research, recognized by several top awards from both IEEE and ACM due to his pioneering work on physically unclonable functions, or PUFs. He has had an exceptional teaching and mentoring career of over 30 years as a professor in the EECS department at MIT, lecturing in a large number of subjects and recently sole authoring a well-received introductory programming textbook, Programming for the Puzzled 2017. Sounds like a book that I must definitely pick up very soon. As a crown feather, he was awarded MIT's 2 top teaching awards, the MacVicar Fellowship and the Baker Award, and the top teaching award from MIT's School of Engineering, namely the Bose Award. Professor Devadas' academic leadership includes serving as associate head and interim head of the EECS department at MIT for 6 years, with a key role in architecting a joint degree program with biology and also designing and introducing a very popular computer science minor at MIT. His research, which has spawned 23 patents, has translated into a successful company, Verayo. Professor Devadas' pioneering work on low-cost cryptographic hardware authentication has had a wide impact. Professor Devadas founded Verayo in 2005 to commercialize this technology, and Verayo has sold tens of millions of RFID arbiter puffs. Academically, many conferences, top ones like CCS, DAC, CHESS, and HOST, include puffs in all their call for papers now. DARPA funds several organizations to build puffs, and work on puffs now takes place in many universities worldwide. Earlier in his career, Professor Devadas received much recognition for his work on low-power circuit design and computer-aided circuit design. He subsequently also developed a processor, Aegis, that can use untrusted memory securely and remain secure even with an untrusted operating system. On the teaching front, he's been a veritable powerhouse, responsible for developing and teaching several subjects that have now become foundational in MIT's CS curriculum and taken by several hundred students each year. He's also developed sophisticated automated grading tools for software courses. In addition, he leads the CS branch of MIT Primes, which brings talented high school kids in for summer research. For his exemplary contributions to research in distributed computing, IIT Madras and its alumni are proud to confer this award upon Professor Srinivas Devadas.
I request Professor Ashwin to adorn Professor Srinivas Devadas with the Angavastra.
So this is what we get for our convocation. You didn't get one for yours.
I've never attended a convocation.
And honor him with the DAA award.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
I now request Mr. Kaviraj to present the oil painting to Professor Srinivas.
Oh, well, it's, wow. Well, I'm not sure I'm going to be allowed to put it in my house. My office. Thanks. Right. Thank you. Thank you.
I now request Professor Srinivas to deliver the acceptance speech.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Thank you so much. First off, I should apologize for being 5 years late. But you know, I guess better late than never. And if I'd known about the warmth and hospitality and that and the kindness that I've received and my fellow alumni have received, I would definitely come the first year. I want to acknowledge my cousin Rohini, who's here, and her and my nephew Rohit, and also Raghuram Sashikaram from class of '85. So I've never attended a convocation. I always try to do things a little too quickly. So I actually left IIT Madras 40 years ago. So it has a nice ring to it. In December 1984, because I graduated 6 months early. And then, 2 weeks later, I was at Berkeley, and then I left Berkeley before I graduated. And it goes on. It goes on and on. It goes on and on. But I want to thank Ashwin and Kaviraj and Nishani and Shyamala and all the wonderful people we met yesterday. And I want to thank, I congratulate GDS Ramkumar. It was great to meet you. I think we'll be friends. And I have to thank Vinod for I basically got to the point where I said, me too, when he got the award and he decided to come. So I'll tell you a little funny story of how I didn't quite make it here, right? I mean, there's the usual story about when someone gets an award, they say, well, this wouldn't have happened but for this. Right, so let me tell you a funny story. So this is April 1980, right? So that's a long time ago, people, right? A long time ago. April 1980, I just received word that I got this JEE rank. I won't embarrass myself by telling you what it was, but it was a finite number. That's what's important, right? That's what's important. So my family and I headed over to Varanasi. And because I was going to go declare where I was going to go and what branch I was going to get, and obviously that's competitive, and we were realistic about my chances. But one thing was clear: I was going to go to IIT Madras. So there's a list that we all have done, right? All of us alums, where you write down, the aspirational. I want to do electronics in IIT Madras, and then it goes down and. Ended up in power engineering, power systems as it was called, but that's not important. One of the things that it turns out was something that I don't know if still exists, but you had to take a physical exam. I don't know if that's still true. Ashwin seems to say it's true. Yeah. Okay, there's a physical exam that you need to take. And it turns out there was a height requirement, and I don't know if there still is. There's a height requirement to become an IIT alum. I mean, this seems like something that would be illegal, right? Anyway, there was a height requirement, which was kind of not the problem. There was a weight requirement. Okay. So at this point, I'm not quite 17 years old, right? I'm 16, 16 in a few months, because I did the usual thing, and I didn't want to finish high school, right? So like, let's move on, right? So I'm 16 and a half years old. I'm in Varanasi, and there's this assistant to the doctor who's measuring me, right? And it turns out, and I'll translate for the American kids here. But you needed to be 150 centimeters, right? And which is 5 feet, right? And I was 159 centimeters, all right? So that was pretty good. And you need to be 41 kilograms, okay? Which translates to 90 pounds, right? So I'm out there on the scale, and it tips over, and it's 36, right? And this guy looks at me. He wasn't that much older than I was, and he has the shock. And he goes, and he wants to write 36, but he can't bring himself to write 36, and he looks at me and puts down 40. Right? So he puts down 40, right? So, and then he takes me to the doctor, who's an older gentleman who's sitting down, and the doctor looks at me and says, he's not 40. And then the guy says, oh, well, sir, usual, mumble, 36. And then the doctor goes, well, if you're going to lie about it, at least lie properly. And he crosses the 40 off and puts down 41. So that's how I'm here today. That's how I'm here today, right? Anyway, so little addendum. So I made it here. July 1980. I came into this august institution, and there's ragging and so on and so forth. And at some point during that process, I was given a nickname. I was christened, as the saying goes, and I became Mickey Mouse. Okay. And Raghu, who's back there, will attest to the fact that very few people knew that my name was Srinivas Devadas, and everyone knew me as Mickey, and the mouse thankfully got dropped, right? So there was that, right? So anyway, what can I say? Thank you so much. It's been an incredible journey. I mean, I have to go to Godavari after this and get a picture with Raghu in front of my dormitory. One last thing. Clearly, the Mandakini food and the Godavari food were really good at helping me not gain weight, but I did have a growth spurt, and I did go from 5'2.5" to almost 5'9". Wow. And so maybe that's the thing I have to the most gratitude to IIT for. Right, I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor, and congratulations on receiving this esteemed award. So, anyone from the gathering would like to share a few words and congratulate Professor Srinivas?
You can speak from where you are as well.
Well, everybody knew from IIT that Nikki was going to go places. And I think it's hard to think that it took so long for IIT to recognize him. So it was a long time coming. His accolades, as read out by the people before, are something that everybody talked about. It was always something that when I met people, and when they knew that I was a friend of Srinivas Devadas, their respect for me immediately increased. So I think in 1988, when he became a professor at MIT, just 3 years after most, that was, I think, probably one of the youngest people to become a professor at MIT. Recently, one of the other alumni was mentioning that his son came to him after watching these videos and said, I've seen these greatest videos of someone explaining algorithms that I have never seen before. And it was Srini's videos. And then the classmate said that his son became much more impressed with him once he found out that he was a classmate of him. So there are so many stories of all of us being in awe of Srini, and I'm really proud that to call him a friend.
It gives me immense pleasure to invite the next awardee, Dr. GDS Ramkumar, along with Professor Krishna Nandivada. I request Professor Krishna Nandivada to read out the citation for Dr. GDS Ramkumar.
Hello all, good morning. It's an absolute pleasure to read the citation for Dr. GDS Ramkumar, GDS. He is a model of innovation, leadership and philanthropy, embodying the spirit and values of IITM. With an illustrious career spanning decades in Silicon Valley, GDS has made a strong impact in the technology industry, continuously pushing the boundaries of possibility and excellence. As an entrepreneurial leader, GDS has founded and led multiple successful startups, each a testament to his visionary foresight and unwavering commitment to the technological advancement. From early days in his career to the groundbreaking ventures of Snaptel and Swell, Dr. Ramkumar has consistently demonstrated an ability to transform ideas into tangible realities, supporting important industries and reshaping consumer experiences along the way. Dr. Ramkumar's contributions to the technology ecosystem extend beyond the realms of just entrepreneurship. His tenure at Amazon and Apple, two of the world's most innovative companies, underscores his power and prowess as a technology leader of extraordinary caliber. At Amazon, for instance, Dr. Ramkumar's work led to the innovation of visual search in Amazon mobile applications. And as head of engineering for info apps at Apple, he has had a key role in the development of products like Apple News, Stocks, and Weather that many of us use pretty frequently. Beyond his professional endeavors, Dr. Ramkumar's dedication to giving back to his alma mater exemplifies his deep commitment to nurturing the future generations of talent. As a long-standing member of IITM Foundation Board, Dr. Ramkumar has played a pivotal role in spearheading fundraising efforts, propelling the institution towards ambitious goals, among others. His unwavering support in partnering with fellow IITM Foundation board members for initiatives like Women Leading IITM and other programs reflect his steadfast belief in the power of education and empowerment to the effective positive change. In recognition of his outstanding achievements, visionary leadership, and unwavering dedication to the ideals of excellence and service, IIT Madras and its alumni are proud to confer Dr. GDS Ramkumar with the Distinguished Alumni Award for the year 2024. I would like to also, before he starts off, request his family members to stand up to recognize their contribution in his journey. Please.
Thank you, Professor. I request Professor Ashwin to adorn Dr. GDS Ramkumar with the Angavastram.
Congratulations formally.
And honor him with the DAA award. Ashwin, you should position yourself with the logo.
Oh, with the logo, sorry. Yeah. Yes, this is perfect. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor. I request Mr. Kaviraj to present the oil painting.
Awesome. Hope you like this.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I now request Dr. GDS Ramkumar to deliver his acceptance speech.
Thank you. I'm so touched and so honored and humbled. The introduction from Director Kamakoti, we call him Kama. He's an old friend and really, it's almost like a pinch real world. Like, is it really happening kind of moment where we interacted closely. Is it now 36 years ago? And I'm actually, I must say, I'm very proud of the leadership at IIT Madras. Professor Kamakoti, Dean Ashwin, the former Dean Mahesh, for just the amazing leadership in bringing the institute to where it is and the growth. It's not an accident, it is a work of the leadership over decades. So thank you, very heartfelt thank you and gratitude. I must say it's in my role as a volunteer with IITM Foundation, I do interact with Kaviraj and Ashwin and previously, and many of the staff members here quite regularly, and they're just so wonderful. I don't have quite as funny stories to share as Srini, but it's really the reflecting back to what made my career and what made it possible for me to be where I am today. It is really IIT Madras for transforming my persona. I left IITM with attitude that I could achieve anything if I wanted to. If I put my heart at it and work at it, I could accomplish that. And that led, in moments when things were not going well, that can help me pull back up. And that attitude lasts to today. And I try to teach my children that. And I owe a lot to the community of alumni, my classmates. I met my wife Aruna through one of our classmates, Shantanu. IIT Madras Foundation has been a labor of love, giving back. I credit Girish Mukai for getting me involved with IIT Madras Foundation, and worked with Rohini Chakravarti on the Women Leading IITM. She was spearheaded that program, and really a lot of incredible memories. I learned that the gratitude makes one. It's in your interest to be grateful, in that it makes you more healthy in later years. I try to practice that, and and I acknowledge my family who traveled with me across the continents, Arunashri, Ananya, and Akshar, who joined me today, and my parents who may be on video there in Hyderabad. They could not travel, but thank you to my parents and my brother and sister who may also be watching. And I really appreciate this honor, and it goes a long way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone from the family would like to share a few words?
We're just really proud to be here to support him. I don't think none of us have seen or at least me and my sister haven't seen the campus before. We haven't met any of my father's friends or shared these memories with him. So it's really meaningful for us to see his early days here as formative memories, and we're grateful to him for always being there for us and teaching us, like he said, that anything is possible if we put our minds to it.
Yeah, I think I just, echo what my brother said. I'm so inspired by my dad all the time, and I'm so grateful to be here to support him and to have some insight into some of his early and such important younger, growing years. I think my dad has taught me so much, and I'm just, really proud and grateful.
Thank you. It's my honor to invite the next recipient of the distinguished awards, Professor Vinod Vaikuntanathan. Professor Krishna Nandivada, may I now request you to please read out the citation of Professor Vinod Vaikuntanathan now.
Thank you. Professor Vinod Vaikuntanathan is an accomplished academician and a noted cryptographer. Along with working as a full professor at ECS MIT, he is also the co-founder and chief cryptographer of Duality Technology Inc., Cambridge. He is a proud alumnus of IIT Madras, having graduated in 2003 with a BTech in my department CS with a minor in physics. He completed his master's in CS in 2005 and PhD in computer science from MIT in 2009. He has played a crucial role in the development of new cryptographic tools for creating safe communication and computation systems. He has played a leading role in the invention of advanced fully homomorphic encryption systems, in the development of a foundation of lattice-based cryptography, which provides us with a leading way to achieve post-quantum security. His theoretical contributions have significantly impacted the practices of cryptography as well. Recently, he has been interested in the interaction of cryptography with quantum computing, as well as statistics and the hot topic of the day, machine learning. His research has been published in some of the most prestigious theoretical computer science and security venues, including Fox, Stocks, Crypto, Eurocrypt, and journals like JSCM and Siam Journal of Computing. His immense passion and dedication towards the subject has made him the recipient of many research awards, including the Alfred P. Solon Research Fellowship 2013, 2014 NSF Career Award, Microsoft Research Faculty Fellowship 2014, DARPA Young Faculty Award 2018, Simons Investigator Award 2023, the Gödel Prize of 2022, and so on. Especially this Gödel Prize on fully homomorphic encryption, as well as the Test of the Time Award from Fox and Crypto, really stand out. He's also a dedicated teacher and mentor. He's the recipient of 2018 Harold E. Edgerton Award and the 2024 McVicar Faculty Fellowship for exemplary and sustained contributions to the teaching and education undergraduates at MIT. For the achievements and contributions toward the field of computer science, the IIT Madras and its alumni are proud to confer Professor Vinod Vaikuntanathan with the DAA Award for the year 2024. Like before, may I request the family members to kindly please stand up so that rest of the audience can also see.
I request Professor Ashwin to adorn Professor Vinod with the Angavastra.
Congratulations, formally.
Center. Thank you, Professor. I request Mr. Kaviraj to present the oil painting of the Vinod.
Oh God. Congratulations again. Thank you. I don't think I'll be allowed to put it up in my home or in my office. I will negotiate.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir. I request Professor Vinod to deliver his acceptance speech.
So it's really hard to go after anything that Srini does, and it's after GDS too. But I'll try my best. I was trying to prepare this speech yesterday, and rehearsed with Shravana. And forgot to thank her. I got so this time I won't make the. It's okay. So I guess well, that one too. So yeah, thank you very much for this honor. This means a great deal to me. I've gotten my fair share of awards, but this really stands out. Extra special coming from my alma mater, which is translates as nourishing mother, right? I mean in Latin. This is really where I was born the second time, where I sort of was made in an academic sense. So I guess thank you for all the folks who nominated me. I think you had something to do with it, but I'm not sure. And to the alumni committee, awards committee, to the wonderful folks who I met yesterday, Shamla, Ashwin, Kaviraj, and everybody else who gave such a warm welcome. It was really great. So I guess I do have people to thank, and sort of like just reflect on how in the world I landed up here, essentially. So sort of started with my Pati, who was my grandmother, who was the daughter of a math teacher, who was called the Kanakapuli at that time, so translated as Math Tiger. So she was, first of all, she was accomplished herself. She was homeschooled, brilliant, accomplished violinist, and she believed in everything I did. Every little thing she was super proud of it. So when you have somebody like that who believes in you so much, you start thinking, well, she might be on to something, and you start believing in yourself. She set very high standards. She wanted, from the time I was 7 or 8, she wanted my picture to appear on the front page of Malayalam Manorama. She didn't say for what, but you know. So this happens when you get one of the top 3 ranks or something in the SSLC 10th class exam. So I did it. I eked in. So that's hopefully I made her proud. It was too late for her, but yeah. So Pati, that was Pati. My parents were the exact opposite. They were as relaxed and carefree, and I mean I don't want to say they set low expectations. But they really were super relaxed, and that was very important. That was extremely important, just to give me space to explore, the freedom to think. And they supported me in everything I did. When it came time to sort of come to IITM, my family couldn't, even back in the days, my family couldn't really afford the tuition. But my dad made it happen. I mean, he really, I don't know how he gave me really everything I wanted. For that, I'm eternally grateful. Also, time to sort of give a shout out to the Merit Cum Means fellowship that used to happen at this point. I don't know if it still exists. It's very, very important for people who would otherwise not have made it to actually come here and sort of grow. So I guess I grew up in a village, I wanted to say, but Shravana sort of disputes me. So I'd say a sleepy little town next to Trivandrum in Kerala. Never heard of IIT, and this really, and let alone sort of research, being a professor, that was all foreign to me. All changed when I went for a summer camp. It's called the NTSC, National Talent Search Exam, summer camp. And I met there my friend Sandeep Verma, who's a lifelong friend to this day, and really we connected intellectually. Like I never met somebody who was as excited about calculus and number theory and mathematics in general. He knew far more about these things than I did, and generally about everything in life. I had read my grandfather's sort of calculus books, but I was living in a vacuum by myself. So he told me about IIT. So the way he described IIT to me was sort of like Hogwarts, right? I mean, it's like full of these amazing, brilliant people. And he told me, you have to go there. Here's what you need to do to get there. And that was really kind of instrumental in sort of like starting my journey. Then I came here, and it really was sort of Hogwarts. All these amazing, brilliant people, not just sort of academically, but in a sort of overall well-rounded sense, both exciting and terrifying, extremely terrifying. But I made it through. I guess too many people to thank here at IITM for sort of making this happen. Starting with professors, the amazing professors who had a foundational role to play in my growth. I would start with Professor CPR, Pandu, as we used to call him, and Panduranga. He still is legendary for the classes he taught, and I guess GDS was also a Pandu student. And the mentorship. I mean, if you look at the list of students who came through CPR's lab, it's sort of like a who's who of just intimidating, really. So one sort of little story about CPR. I mean, in one of the classes he taught, the algorithms class, he had this idea of giving an open-ended exam. So there's an exam that would start, I don't know, like in the afternoon, and it was really open-ended. It really would go on and on and on and on. There was no end inside, open parenthesis, right? And he would also provide an open-ended number of samosas. So I think he expected his students to be machines that turned samosas into theorems, which I guess some of us did. But these were sort of research questions, like open-ended questions as well, which it's amazing. I've never seen anybody else sort of do such a sort of out-of-the-box kind of thing, which was amazing. He was also my research advisor, my BTech project advisor. So I started working with him at my second year. So I just went to him and said, I want to work with you. Knew nothing at that point. And he gave me this copy of this 500-page book of, Shafi Golbasar, cryptography, lecture notes on cryptography, and he said, okay, go read it. And I think he expected me to go away and never come back, but I did go back. And he really sort of gave an extremely sort of supportive, nourishing environment for so many of us to do research. And he also set high expectations. He really wanted sort of like results, and he wanted good results. And that, there is something about people setting high expectations for you, and this was very important. Kama, I guess, Kama said he taught me some classes. Actually, it was two. It was an operating systems class and a VLSI design class. And he, I think we were his first batch of students here. And really, for so much energy to be concentrated in one person, it would seem like it would violate some law of physics. but you have a constructive example in your director here. And he was also a very kind person. So we were talking about Mandakini, in the morning, right? In my third year, thanks to the Madras floods, Mandakini flooded, and as a downstream consequence, half the hostel had hepatitis. So we were all down. We were all down for a month, and we couldn't do our exams before the age of the internet, barely email, right? So we missed classes, we missed projects, we were all sort of down in our GPA, and it seemed like the ground was falling beneath us. And when I came back, frail, still recovering, I still remember Kama sort of both supporting me in sort of making up what I did, but also his words mattered a great deal to me. So this kindness is something that has stayed with me, and I hope to pay it forward as I go along. So that's Kama. I guess IITM was not just a technical place. I grew as a sort of humanist in a sense. I mean, I had sort of a variety of experiences here. One of the faculty that was sort of instrumental in this was Professor Dilip Virraghavan, who was a professor of history here in the humanities department. And he was much more than a professor to me. He was a friend to so many of us. And he, for those of you who may have heard of him, he was blind, but it seemed like he could see far more and sort of understand far more than any of us ever did. One of the things that I remember is sort of going to his office. I would just sit by. He wanted somebody to translate sort of CDs into an MP3 format. So that was my job on the side. I would just sit there, and he would have these sort of people come into his office, and he would talk about Carnatic music. He would talk about contemporary politics, all sorts of things in the world. He was really an intellectual that made a great difference to me. So when you go into these, so you need to take 4 humanities classes at still the case, right? So a lot of us treat this as, okay, fine, you go do your thing, and that's that. But Dilip's class was completely different. It was charged, it was energizing. He taught a class on the history of the Indian independence movement. I've never before and never hence sat down in a humanities class, reverted to what the speaker had to say, what the teacher had to say. So he was really instrumental in so many of us. I guess another sort of thing that happened is, in ITM, again, you have this NSO, NSS, and NCC, right? So it's sort of things that you need to do to get through and get a degree. NSO was sports. Just look at me. I mean, I'm not going to play sports. I was thinner than Srini back then.
There's always ping pong.
I don't think that was. I think a lot of us tried to eke in ping pong, and they said no. It's not going to happen.
You could be a ball. That's what.
I was right. That's I was a ball. Never mind. So NCC was another option. That meant you had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do marches. Thank you very much. No way. I got out of it. And I did an NSS, which is the National
Social
Service thing, right? So that meant going and teaching kids in Taramani and Velachery. Right, so every week, a couple hours, you would go and spend with them. And again, I went into it saying, look, just Pani Udla, just let it go, spend 2 hours, get done with it. But that was transformative, really. I mean, just seeing these kids, underprivileged, poor kids, they come week after week, and they stand sort of riveted at what you had to say, and they absorb so much. And this really, I sort of credited with sort of starting to want to teach as a profession. That's another amazing thing that IITM did for me. Hopefully it continues to this day. And I guess I can go on and on, but I won't. I would just like to say that you can take someone out of IITM, but the IITM network follows along wherever you go. The very first thing that happened when I landed up in Cambridge for my MIT, for my grad school, was the first person who picked me up was an IITM senior, and he would pick us up, put us in our apartment. There was a whole network of sort of IITM alumni who supported me in Cambridge. It's a completely foreign country, all I had seen of Cambridge was a picture of the Charles River and the bridge frozen over in winter. I showed this to my father, and he said, "Ended up and dry, like, what are you doing to yourself?" And I went nevertheless, and this was great. The first Thanksgiving dinner we had was at the house of Guru Raj Deshpande, who I think he sort of like organized or ran this network of senior alumni who would act as informal mentors to us, and that was super important in the sort of the beginning formative years in Cambridge. Again, many more people to thank. Mentors, my PhD advisor, Shafiq Ulwasar, who really, again, was sort of like a second mother to me. And Srini, who was a teaching mentor to me. I remember teaching a class, my very first class of 300 students was when I was fortunate enough to teach with Srini.
You got better ratings.
I did get better ratings. I did notice it. And Srini remembers it. Sort of like we all remember our IIT ranks, and CGPA. I mean, Srini remembers, so do I. But Srini does, I guess, leave things early, but he never left a class early. He didn't leave. I was half expecting you to finish your speech halfway, and so I don't know. Srini was really sort of taught me exactly what it means to sort of teach students, and the many sort of brilliant students that I had a chance to work with and continue to have a chance to work with. Some of who are sort of professors here. I mentioned sort of Shweta Agarwal, who was a sort of a former student of mine. She's now a star professor here. So I guess I still didn't thank Shravana. So I would. So she again has believed in me all this time, and she has also set high standards. And she's sort of had my back both professionally. She's the resident machine learning advisor to me, and personally. So thank you very much. And this little one who's a handful, as you can see. So I was doing a math problem with her last week. And I got it wrong, and she got it right, and she made it a point to gloat, and she at the end she asked me, "How are you a mathematics professor?" So just keep you grounded. There you go. All right, so I guess thank you very much. This is really humbling to me. You're on the hook.
Yes, I think everyone knows about Vinod's academic achievements, but only a few people know that he's like one of the kindest people in the world, and hopefully IIT has something to do with that. And we're just very grateful for the opportunity to see the campus and see what made him the person he is. And thank you all so much.
Do you want to say something about Dada? Make it nice, okay?
Tell us about the math problem.
So I need to tell you something a bit different.
Okay.
A bit different.
With the math problem in it. So I was thinking of, before Dada gave a speech, I was thinking of giving a speech about the math problem that we did.
Good. Okay. All right.
That's it?
That's it?
No.
Go on.
You asked for it.
And I want to and also I want to get a monkey and put it on someone's chair.
We have a lot of them around.
And put it on someone's chair.
Okay, nice. All right, great. Well, there's that too.
Thank you.
I want to echo Vinod's gratitude to the professors, Professor Panurangam and also Professor Kamalakritivasan and
Yes, she did.
and Professor Tim Gonzalez and
Yes.
These are very formative, incredible, and I must say, echo the ambition with which Professor Panurangam taught the students that film class gave us to just what I
Thank you. I invite Mr. Kaviraj Nair, CEO, Office of Institutional Advancement, to please deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Sharon, and good morning, everyone. And it's such a wonderful moment, such a wonderful event for all of us to be present. I think I was just thinking that this is really, truly the high point of my career with IIT, right? I mean, to be able to participate in these kind of events and to listen to such achievers. I mean, it's truly inspirational. We all go back with so much more positive energy at the end of this session. First of all, would like to express our deepest gratitude to the winners of the Distinguished Alumni Award this morning, Professor Srinivas Devadas, Dr. GDS Ramkumar, and Professor Vinod Vaikuntanathan. All of you have got phenomenal achievements, and thank you to all the respective families who have found time to travel along with them and be part of this magnificent event. Thank you, and you'll say something? No. Thank you to all of you, and our sincere gratitude to Professor Kamakoti, who gave us a video session, and to Dean and Director in charge today, Professor.
I think Raghu is director.
Okay. So for this event, at least, yeah. So Dean, Professor Ashwin Mahalingam, the head of the departments, Professor Krishna Nandivada, Professor Shanti Pavan. And of course, members of IIT Madras Alumni Association, Shyamla, Nishani, and the friends and family members, other friends of the winners who have taken time to come for and attend this event. My colleagues of mine from the ACR office, Sujata, and all other people who made this event a memorable one. Thank you to all of you, and I hope you have a great time for whatever is for whatever is planned for this afternoon, and please do join us for a lunch and enjoy your time in the campus.
I request you all to please rise for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छलजलधितरङ्गा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
We thank each and every one of you for gracing this occasion and making it as a special and memorable one. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Sharon.
We request all the awardees and family members to gather for the
Oh my God. And I was 46, so I went through the same stage, went through the same thing. Not black, right?
What, why did I have to? And what is everyone ever say
Faculty, they had a health checkup. I think just make sure that
yeah.